Hey warriors, how are you all? So I am now 14 weeks post-op with my right leg and 12 days pre-op with my left leg. It's all becoming very real again. So last week on Wednesday, I went up to the hospital to see my surgeon and also to have all my pre-op assessments. So first off, I saw the surgeon. If you remember, when I had my 6-week checkup, he'd been stuck in Sweden and couldn't see me, so I'd seen one of his colleagues. So he wanted to see me out of courtesy, really, before I had my operation. Yeah, lovely man. He basically had a look at the right leg, showed me all the x-rays and everything and said it had gone really well. He was really happy with my movement. He was happy with the scar. Yeah, he was really happy with how things are with the right leg. And he just had a look at my left leg just to sort of clarify what he was going to do. He's going to straighten it again. And yeah, so it's all good to go for the left leg. We did all the consent forms and just went through everything. After seeing him, I went and had all my pre-op assessments. It's quite thorough at the hotel. I've got a hotel before, haven't I? The hospital I go to. So first off, I saw a nurse who, funnily enough, it was one of the nurses who looked after me when I was in for my right leg, and she remembered me, a lady called Teresa. So I had a lovely chat with her. So she just did my general obs, things like my blood pressure, my pulse, temperature, all of which were absolutely fine, spot on, normal. So after seeing Teresa, I then went to see a healthcare assistant who did a few more things with me, including an ECG. Now, I was lying down on the bed having an ECG and the machine was next to me. Nothing straightforward, is it? And I was listening to the beeps of my heart and I was lying there. Now, you know as well as me, when you hear a heartbeat, it should be regular. This was all over the blooming place. Beep, 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 all over, completely irregular. She didn't say anything to me. She just said, when is it you're having your op? And I told her. Anyway, then did the MRSA swabs, all of which were good. Just asked me a few questions. And then she put me back out into the waiting room to see the other nurse. So I saw the other nurse then, got called in, and the other nurse is the main nurse who does the whole sort of like pre-op survey. And the first thing she said to me was, she said your ECG was irregular, we're a little bit worried about it. She said it was all over the place, which I kind of knew. And she said, we're going to need to send it to the cardiologist and the anaesthetist to see what they say, whether or not they can go ahead with the op. So I'm like, oh God, I don't need that. But anyway, she did everything else. Everything else was absolutely fine. She took my bloods, did all the medical questionnaires. Everything else was absolutely fine. It was just this blooming ECG that was all over the place. Now, that was that. So it was left that I had to drive home because obviously, if you remember, my surgeon is 4 hours away. So I'd driven up there in the morning. I had to be there for 8:30, so I'd left at about 4. I'd seen the surgeon, seen the various nursing assessment people, and then I drove back home. So it was left like that they would contact me the following day to say what the anaesthetist and cardiologist said. So I didn't know at that point whether my op was going ahead or not. Anyway, sure enough, that later on in the afternoon of the following day, nurse rang me, and she said that they were absolutely fine with it. They said it looked like it was just a one-off blip. And because obviously I'd been in and had the anaesthetic 3 months ago and my ECG was fine then, I went through the anaesthetic fine, happy to go ahead with the op. So I don't know what that was all about. No idea. But as it would happen, I had a follow-up with my own GP for a meds check yesterday, and my heartbeat was fine. So who knows what that's all about? No idea. Maybe I was a little bit nervous. I don't know. But it was, as soon as I heard it, it was like all over the blooming place. I thought, that's not right. But so anyway, so I've had all of my pre-ops now. They're happy with my dodgy ECG. So as far as I know, as long as nothing sort of shows up in the blood tests they've done, and I've not got MRSA, which I'm sure they would have told me about by now, everything's going ahead on the 31st, so 12 days time. So I'm doing all my exercises with both legs, trying to keep, both moving. It's, Oh, sorry, my computer's just, I thought it was my boss from work. I'm having my lunch break at the moment and my computer just pinged up. I was just checking that it wasn't my boss. No, so as far as I know, everything's going ahead, all good. So not really much else has been going on. You know, my right knee now, I'm sat down a lot. I'm sat down a lot because I'm working from home, and it's yeah, it's okay. I'm just not getting the exercise I should be at the moment because I'm sort of sat down all the time. It's quite stiff, but it's looking okay. It's I shall show you. See? So yeah, so again, I've got my silicone scar tape on. I swear by that stuff. I've got my sexy hospital stocks on as well. But absolutely brilliant, that scar tape. It's my scar's looking lovely. Look, you see that? I keep the scar tape on because it's it really makes a difference. Weather's been awful here. Have you had bad weather? We've had terrible weather. It's just literally been pelting down. Wind, rain coming in from the east, just sheeting across. It's been horrible. I haven't been able to take the dogs far at all. And to be fair, they don't want to go far. They come out for a wee and that's it. They're back in their kennel and they're like, no, sir, don't want any of that. But no, not a lot else to tell you really this week. I don't even know whether I'm going to bother posting this. I see I've got a few more subscribers as well, which is lovely. Thank you and hello to the newbies. Really nice to have you on board. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say. If you've got any questions for me, just ask. I'd like to think that I could hopefully help people. There was lots of things, you know, as you recover, there's lots of things you worry about and things that come up unexpected. And you know, you don't know when it's your first knee, if that's normal or not. So if you've got any questions, just pop them in the comments and I will answer them or get back to you, whatever. But yeah, so that's it for now. There's nothing really else to tell you now. Everything's pretty normal unless I get notification that something was wrong with any of my bloods, which hopefully they won't. It'll all go ahead for the 31st. So I will next post a video probably when we're there or on the way there. Okay?